Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to teach your dog place today. This is an important activity since your dog, any dog really, needs to learn how to chill out, how to be calm. And even though this isn't as fun and flashy as some of the tricks, this is probably the most important thing that you're going to learn as far as training your dog. I have Birdie here with me because she's 6 months old today, so this is still, she's not an expert at this. And depending upon how she does, I may bring my husband's dog Coronis in too, because he's definitely behind my dogs as far as training. In case you've never heard of a place bed before, this is the place bed that I use. It's by K&H Products. Pretty sure that I got this from Amazon. They're not really expensive, somewhere between $30 and $50. I like this one better than some of the other ones because it is like kind of just like a pipe setup, so you can slide this apart and take it with you really easily. I mean, it flips upside down and takes no space in the car too, but if you really needed the space, you could take this completely apart, and it's very easy to take apart and put back together. So I use this quite a bit. All right, so with place, this is different than stay. So with place, what we are doing is we're asking our dog just to stay in this, 3x2 area and chill. It doesn't matter if they sit, if they lie down, they can stand on their head and spin in circles. It doesn't matter, just so long as they don't leave this surface. And again, that's just going to help our dog learn how to decompress. And this will be an excellent activity to teach your dog just how to chill at home, but eventually, when we get to the point that it's okay to take him somewhere again, you can take this with you, and it'll be an opportunity for him to have a place where he knows it's time to chill, bring that brain energy down to a reasonable level. All right, so I'm going to pretend as though Birdie has never done this activity before. Oh, just a little bit of a informational thing here on some words that I'll be using. For me, good is a word that means you're doing the right thing, keep doing that thing. It's just a word of encouragement. Whereas YES, which I don't want to say right now because I don't want to release her, is my release word. That means you're totally done doing that activity I've asked you to do, and now you can just come to me. So if I was having my dogs stay, for instance, at maybe the 15-second mark for a puppy, I might say good. At the 30-second mark, good. 45, good. Minute, good. Minute and 15, maybe I think that's as long as she can go. Now I say YES and actually release her from that stay command. So you're going to hear me use those two different words. You might want to start thinking about what words you would like to use, but that's not really the focus of what we're doing today, but just so you know why I'm using those different words. Okay, so if Birdie has never done this before, I'm not going to put a word with it because she doesn't know English. It would be like somebody telling you a command in Japanese and expecting you to magically know how to do it. So I'm going to use luring first so that she gets that behavior down, and then I will add the word to it. Okay, so I have the treat in my hand, which in your case would be dog food. Please feed your dog breakfast and dinner doing commands rather than feeding your dog out of a bowl until we have complete control of the situation, right? So here I have her. She does know this, but I'm not going to use the word yet. Good. But I will tell her she's good because now she's up on here. Give her a couple seconds. Good. Because if we're saying this is a new activity for the dog, we have to encourage this, right? Good. Like I said, doesn't matter if she sits, stands, lies down, spins in circles, starts singing a song. She can do whatever she wants as long as she stays in this area. So, good. Yes. So I'm releasing her from her place bed right now just to show you that action again. So again, we're going to lure her up onto the place bed. Good. We'll praise the fact that she's on here. Good. She doesn't necessarily need a treat every time I say G-O-O-D because she has this activity down. For your dog, you're going to want to treat more often because you're building that piece of knowledge. Good. after your dog's kind of got the idea, you've lured him up here a few times. She's trying to get up there at 4, ready for it too. Now we're going to start adding the word. So don't do this until your dog is pretty comfortable stepping on and off of the place bed. Now we can add the word. So as I'm luring, I'm going to say place. Good. Yes. Place. Oops, I gotta try to go it up in the leash. Good. Okay, so now I'm adding the word as she is being lured up there. That way she's now actually learning the word. Good. Learning the word that I'm teaching her, right? Because again, you don't speak Japanese, your dog doesn't speak English. So you have to do this in little steps so that your dog understands what the word means. Now, good. Now that your dog has learned how to get on the place bed and is learning the command, now we can add in any of the 3 Ds. So there's distance, distraction, duration. Okay, distance, distraction, duration. Those are 3 Ds that we're going to use anytime we're training. We can only do one of those at a time. So if I'm going to try to improve how long she can be on this place bed, I'm going to stay right here. I'm not going to change anything about where I'm moving to. And now instead of waiting maybe 10 seconds in between telling her she's good, now I'm going to make her wait 20 seconds. After 20 seconds goes by, good. Okay, so I'm working on building up that duration. You have an adult dog, so they should catch on to this pretty quickly, and you can extend those durations for much longer periods of time. In fact, it'd be a good idea to have this with you when you're watching TV at night, and you could do this maybe at first just during a commercial break, so that's just a couple of minutes, right? And you could keep building that up and up until you reach maybe like a half an hour sitcom, okay? So you want to keep building that time, especially since we're going to want to be able to use this place bed when you take your dog to other places. Good. Now, we've worked on some duration here. The next thing, that's the other thing. Even 1 foot off is a correction. Their entire body needs to stay on the place bed. So now we talked about working duration a little bit. Now we work distance. So if I was right next to her place bed, maybe I'd walk a couple of feet away. Good. But now I'm going to want to cut those durations down. So if I move the distance further away, I need to cut the durations back down. So if I had her worked up to 30 seconds between telling her she was good, I want to go back down to like 15 seconds because I'm now further away. Good. Okay, so we did a difference in time, distance, now distraction. So this is where it gets kind of silly, right? So you can kind of dance around, you can make some noise, you could squeak a toy. That one's gonna be really tough, right? So you're gonna do something to distract your dog. Maybe you drop your keys, that kind of thing. Good. And again, we're going to keep the time span nice and short because we are adding in that distraction. So only one of those things at a time while we're learning, either distance, duration, or distraction. Once your dog gets better at it, obviously you can do more than one thing. But as they're learning, you're just going to do one at a time. So if you are sitting in the living room at night watching TV, and we're trying this out with your dog, keep the dog bed right next to you on the floor. So the second that your dog's paw hits the floor, you can correct that behavior and place your dog back on place. Good. All right, so I hope that is helpful. I hope you understand how to teach your dog place. And like I said, not necessarily the flashiest, fanciest trick in the book, but as far as your dog's mental health and a training tool, this is probably the most important thing you'll teach.